Welcome to Let's Pivot, the official podcast by Pivot, your global Web3 venture accelerator. We're here to cut through the noise and help founders build better, faster, and smarter in Web3.
So, let's talk about something we see all the time in early-stage Web3. Founders who've just launched a testnet or dropped their tokens suddenly feel like the company is done. Like the big moment has already happened. The problem? That moment. The launch, the MVP, the white paper, that's not the company. The startup is not the product. It sounds simple. But this is one of the most common and costly misunderstandings founders carry into execution.
In Web3 especially, it's easy to wrap your entire identity around a white paper, a testnet launch, or a set of token utilities. But those are just outputs, they're not the business. The real company is the structure behind it. The problem you're solving, the systems you're building, and the long-term value you're aiming to create.
Let's break it down. A project is a thing you launch. It might have a GitHub repo, a smart contract, a Discord. A company is the engine that turns that into something sustainable, with users, governance, processes, revenue, and actual growth.
In Web2, this distinction is clearer. You build a product, but everyone knows you also need a business model, a team, customers, a market. But in Web3, we often see people mistake a token launch for a business launch. The treasury becomes the focus. The staking dashboard is the end goal, but tokens are just one component. They're not the company.
Think of it this way. Your token is like electricity. It can power systems, connect stakeholders, unlock behaviors. But without a real machine to plug it into, without product, users, and community, electricity just sparks and fades.
That's where a shift in mindset becomes crucial. Founders need to think in milestones, not moments. It's not about just launching. It's about moving toward a set of strategic goals that actually validate what you're building. So, what do those milestones really look like? Not just build MVP or find a product market fit or a KOL that you end up onboarding. It is more about validating your core assumptions, running your first user cohort and gather feedback, defining community roles that actually stick, getting early contributors to stay after the airdrop, building a narrative market fit, not just product market fit. These are the real wins. These create momentum, and they're often invisible in hype cycles.
Now here's a trap we see often. The token-first fallacy. It's when teams focus on their tokenomics before they've figured out their users. They spend more time on vesting schedules or airdrop mechanics or community quests and incentivization mechanics than on onboarding flows or retention drivers. It doesn't mean tokens are bad, they're powerful. But the utility of the token should emerge from the product and the problem you're solving, not the other way around.
This is why execution frameworks matter. Whether you're in an accelerator, raising a round, or just heads down building, you need clarity. Clarity on what the next necessary thing is, and you need the space to actually reach it without chasing vanity metrics.
We've found that when founders stop viewing the MVP as the end and start viewing it as just the first real test, things click. Because then the focus shifts from hype to health, from surface-level momentum to systems that grow.
So if you're in the early stages of building, ask yourself, am I treating this launch as the finish line or the start line? Am I clear on what milestones matter beyond the token? Am I building a business or just a product? Who sticks around 6 months after launch and why?
The startup is not the token. The startup is not even the tech. It's the system you're building around the idea. The people, the market, the feedback loops, the capital, the contributors, the trust. That's the real company. If you can answer that for your own journey, not just what you're building, but what you're building around, you're already heading in the right direction.
We hope this episode helped bring clarity to how you think about early execution. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What resonated, what didn't, and what you'd like us to unpack next.
Follow Let's Pivot on Spotify, visit us at 0xpivot.com, and tap in with us on socials to stay in the loop.
In our next episode, we're going to dig into narratives, how storytelling, framing, and community vision can make or break your launch, even when your tech is solid. Until then, build like it matters, measure what matters even more, and, as always, let's pivot.